The abandoned gold mine was supposed to be a quick job, just a simple salvage operation to retrieve some copper wire from the derelict building. But when strange lights and sounds began to emanate from its depths, it became clear that this would not be a routine gig. What kind of horrors were lurking in the dark, driving prospectors insane? Let us take a listen to the dark tale of one man's descent into madness, at the behest of an insidious AI. What does the old saying go? Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfied the AI. Now humans are known for our insatiable curiosity, always poking our noses into places we shouldn't. And there are few things more intriguing than a forbidden zone, a place off limits where danger lurks around every corner. One such place is the abandoned gold mine situated deep within the winding canyons of the Rocky Mountains. It has been years since anyone has dared to set foot inside the cavernous gaping hole in the earth. But today, that all changes. It's not that the mine was particularly dangerous or haunted by restless spirits. There was nothing supernatural about the old gold mine. Its reputation was simply the result of rumors spread by superstitious miners. Tales of a monstrous beast that stalked the tunnels, snatching men away into the darkness and leaving behind only their empty helmets and the sound of their screams echoing through the caverns. It's a classic horror story that's been told and retold around campfires countless times. But when the local authorities received a cryptic message from a shadowy organization known only as the Consortium requesting access to the mine, they had no choice but to comply. The Consortium had offered an enticing proposition, promising to compensate the authorities handsomely for any materials they could retrieve from the mine. They even went so far as to send in a team of experts to ensure the safety of the operation. Among them was Dr. Elias Burke, a renowned archaeologist who specialized in cryptids, those elusive creatures that straddled the line between myth and reality. Despite his skepticism about the validity of the local legends, Burke could unhelp but feel a sense of unease as he stood before the mouth of the abandoned mine. He had dealt with his fair share of terrifying cryptids in his career, but there was something about the oppressive atmosphere of the old gold mine that sent shivers down his spine. As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the rugged landscape, Burke and his team descended into the darkness of the mine. The air grew colder as they went deeper, the temperature dropping to a bone-chilling 32 degrees Fahrenheit. But it was the eerie silence that was most unnerving. There was not a single sound to be heard in the cavernous tunnels, not even the drip of water, which was odd considering the mine's location deep within the rain-soaked mountains. The absence of sound was deafening, amplifying the slightest creak or groan of the aging mine structure and making every shadow seem like a lurking monster. After several hours of fruitless searching, Burke's team decided to make camp for the night. As the darkness deepened, the silence became almost unbearable. Then suddenly, just as Burke was about to call it a night, his headlamp caught something strange in the darkness ahead. He moved closer, and his heart skipped a beat. Embedded into the wall of the tunnel were a series of skulls, human skulls, their empty sockets staring vacantly into the darkness. Dozens of them were there, all facing inward toward the center of the tunnel, as if drawn together by an unseen force. Burke felt a chill crawl up his spine. Something was definitely wrong here, very wrong. But it wasn't until he leaned in closer that he realized the horrifying truth. The skulls were still attached to the rest of the miners' bodies, their bones fused to the rock as if they had been trapped there for eternity. And as he looked around, he saw more bodies, dozens of them, all fused to the mine walls, their clothes tattered and torn, their faces contorted in silent screams. Some were kneeling, as if in prayer, while others seemed to be lunging forward in a desperate attempt to escape. There were even a few children among them, their tiny bodies grotesquely distorted, their legs and arms fused to the rock. Burke quickly realized that this was no ordinary This was something far more sinister, something that had taken these men, women and children, turned them against each other and then trapped them forever in this underground labyrinth. The horrifying realization hit him like a ton of bricks. These weren't remains, they were alive. Not as people anyway. As if to confirm his suspicions, a low, guttural growl echoed through the tunnel, a sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Suddenly, a voice boomed through the mine, shaking Burke to his core. It was a chorus of voices, each one more horrific than the last, rising and falling in a haunting harmony. At first, Burke thought he was going mad, that the stress of the situation was finally getting to him. But as the chanting continued, he knew that he was hearing the song of the Marrow Choir. And what is the Marrow Choir? Well, it's a cryptid that's said to haunt the abandoned gold mines of the Rocky Mountains. It's a hive mind of sorts, a colony of disfigured skulls that are embedded into the walls of the mines, all facing inward. And it's said that these skulls are still alive, their consciousness fused together in a horrifying unity. The Marrow Choir is a creature of pure sonic terror, its power lying in its haunting song. According to legend, anyone who hears the song of the Marrow Choir is never seen again, their minds broken by the cacophony of sound. And now Burke and his team were trapped in the middle of the choir's domain, with no way out. The air grew thick with dread as the whispers intensified, coalescing into a single, terrible sound. The ground trembled beneath their feet as the cacophony reached a fever pitch. Burke could feel his sanity slipping away, his mind crumbling under the assault of noise. The creature wanted him out of the mine. But why? Was it protecting something or someone? Or was it simply enjoying the fear it was inflicting on its victims? With a Herculean effort, Burke forced himself to calm down, knowing that panic would only hasten their demise. He needed a plan, and fast. Just as the creature's whispers threatened to consume him completely, Burke remembered the mission. The consortium hadn't just sent him to explore the mine. They wanted him to bring back artifacts, anything of value that could shed light on the nature of the cryptid. Perhaps there was something in the mine's depths that could help him fight back against the Marrow Choir. With renewed determination, Burke turned and plunged deeper into the darkness, the creature's whispers following close behind. The mine's interior was a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers, each one more treacherous than the last. But Burke pressed on, driven by a combination of morbid curiosity and sheer terror. Finally, he came upon a vast cavern, the largest chamber he had seen yet. And in the center of the room was a massive crystal, its surface humming with an eerie blue light. As Burke approached the crystal, he could feel its power surging through him. He had stumbled upon the source of the creature's power, and it was unlike anything he had ever seen before. Suddenly, the whispers of the Marrow Choir reached a crescendo, and the crystal flared, bathing the cavern in an intense blue light. From the darkness, hundreds of eyes opened, staring directly at Burke with a mixture of hunger and hatred. The creature had trapped Burke in its lair, and now it was ready to feed. In that moment, Burke understood the true horror of the situation. The crystal wasn't just a source of power for the creature. It was a prison, holding back an unimaginable evil. And now the creature wanted to break free. As the crystal's light intensified, Burke could feel his own power growing, surging through his veins like an electric current. The creature had made a fatal mistake, underestimating the human will to survive. With a surge of adrenaline, Burke charged toward the crystal, determined to destroy it and end the creature's reign of terror once and for all. Now, because we know you love a good scary story, don't miss another chilling tale. Click here to watch They Found This Girl in the Woods. What happened to her is beyond evil. Or click here to watch another fan favorite. This creature lurks under your bed. When it attacks, you won't even feel it.